The British first went to Afghanistan at the beginning of the 19th century, got involved in 2 disastrous wars. This picture here is done by one of the engineers trained to survey the land, but they were also great artists who travelled with the British in those days. This is a view over Kabul, and this one, a famous picnic site, Babur's tomb, the tomb of the founder of the Mughal dynasty, Babur. One of the striking things about the images in this exhibition is that they look as if they could have been taken yesterday. This is Kabul, in fact, in the 1930s, but if anything, the street surface is better than it is today. Now this is an image of what's left of what was one of the most beautiful pieces of Muslim architecture anywhere in the world, Herat, which was destroyed in fact by the British in the 1880s. This picture taken by the very famous travel writer Robert Byron. In front of the mosque, a field of waving opium poppies growing then quite openly. This is Kandahar. At the time that the British were holding it between 1880 and 1882, the time this picture is taken, the British had just lost their biggest battlefield defeat in Asia. They were defeated on the field of Maiwand, and it was because the artillery didn't get there in time, perhaps some of these guns. And this is a gateway to the city, buildings all held up with single pieces of wood. The men on the left are standing on a sort of platform of wooden beams with a mud roof to it, with shops underneath. The key reason for Britain being interested in Afghanistan in the 19th century was in order to protect their western border. They feared the Russians might come in and seize India. And the tribesmen on that border had a fearful reputation. You can see how they're drawn here as ghastly, blood-curdling bandits. That was very much the British image of the men who lived in the border country. The Afghans had a saying, first comes one Englishman and he goes hunting, second come 2 and they make a map, then come 3 and they take the country. And this is one Englishman, actually in Helmand, photographed in 1903, a place where now there are many British soldiers. This is one of the giant Buddhas at Bamiyan, photographed in 1895, blown up by the Taliban, of course, in 2001. And you can see the scale of it from the people right at the bottom, sitting alongside the monks' caves. This is a group of Pashtuns, Pathans they used to be called, coming out of a house in Kandahar in the south. And they look very obviously different to Hazaras from the centre of the country. Some believe that they're the descendants of Genghis Khan's Mongol hordes that came across Central Asia 600 or 700 years ago. Highly posed photographs of individuals. They don't look terribly happy to have their pictures taken. And this really one of the finest photographs in the exhibition for me, said to be a horse seller in Kandahar, perhaps the model for Mahbub Ali, the scheming, deceptive spy who's the horse dealer in Kipling's great novel Kim.